Are you losing your children's attention during your lessons? You finally have them seated and ready, and then all of a sudden you have to start redirecting. Many new preschool teachers don't realize that the written plan is just one piece of it. A major part of what makes the lesson is the actual delivery. In this video, I will share with you a routine that you can do that will help you accomplish your objectives as well as keeping the kids engaged. This is also the routine that got me high marks on teacher evaluations as well. So stay tuned. Just like the kids, I love having a dependable routine, but I also know that a routine is a tool to get me to my desired outcome. In the case of this video, having a routine to deliver your lessons as a new preschool teacher helps you get more comfortable and find your flow. And what I mean by flow is when it becomes easy or more effortless. Then you can feel more freer and not be so hard on yourself when things go off the rails. You'll be able to pick yourself back up, salvage whatever you can, or move on to something new altogether without skipping a beat. You'll also get so good at it from the repetition of routine. You'll know what steps you can move around or eliminate, and it won't affect your objective or the management of this time. This routine I'm going to give to you in steps, and I want you to imagine that the theme of the week is apples, and this is a math activity or math lesson, and I'm going to break down the steps so that you can see how you can keep the kids engaged. So step one is the warm-up or an attention getter. And it could be a prop, it could be a game, it could be a song or a question. In this case, I'm gonna use a question. You may ask the children, what's your favorite fruit? Whatever question you decide you wanna use, you wanna make sure that you're getting different answers. There's lots of different ways that you can warm up or grab their attention when you are about to start your lesson. And again, the suggestions that come off the top of my mind is a song or maybe a game or even a prop or a question. So step two would be to introduce the topic. And for this lesson, maybe I want to introduce graphs. So I would basically just talk about the basic foundational information and something really quick. And then I would basically say something like, so this week I thought it would be a great idea for us to explore apples. Let's find out how many of you like apples. And then we would move on to step three, which is ask related questions and demonstrate. So at this point, I would show them the chart and then I would explain to them what it is that they are seeing and how to do it. And then I would show them, which is the demonstration part. So basically, if it's a 2-column chart, the title's at the top, do you like apples? Then one side could say yes, the other side could say no. Working with pre-K, I would have the word and maybe a picture that symbolizes yes for this activity, and then the word and a picture that symbolizes no for this activity. And then I would just tell them that one side is yes, one side is no. And then I would start by saying whether I like apples or not. So then I would have some type of picture or maybe even my name tag or something that I would put on either side, whether yes I do or no I don't. So that's the related question, and then I would also demonstrate how to do it. And I would tell them if I like apples, I'm gonna put it on this side, and then I would also say like if I don't like apples, then I would put it on this side. Step 4 would be present examples or have them practice. So I'm not gonna do the presenting examples because I think me doing it for this particular lesson, me doing it is kind of like an example of how to do it. So I would just have them practice doing it. So again, you would ask them the question, do you like apples? And then ask them where to put their apple or name to show whether they do like it or whether they don't like it. So then I would ask them to come up and place their object, their apple or their name in one of the columns. So for step 5, at this point, I would either leave them on the carpet or I would dismiss them to tables. So step 5 is to have them work on it. So as this is a math lesson, maybe I would have something laid out for them at the tables. So the tables, it could be a paper with 2 trees on it, and they would draw the apples that correspond to what they see on the graph on the board. And then they could write the number just like, you know, I would have done on the board as well. So for step 6, they're either still at the tables or maybe you want to invite them back to the rug when they're all done. And then this is the part where you ask volunteers to talk about what they did and why they chose to put their apples in the columns that they, or on the trees that they decided to put them on. So at this point, the child, the volunteer, is explaining what it is they did and also demonstrating it to the other students in the class. And you can ask for one volunteer or a couple volunteers, it's up to you. Step 7 is to have a closing or exit question or activity. So for instance, I can ask them more yes or no questions to vote on, and then we can all practice counting how many yeses, counting how many no's. We can even use the chart that is still up on the board. Then basically what they can do is they can walk me through what I'm supposed to do. So first we have the child explaining how to do it to the other kids, and now all the children are volunteering answers on how I can put the information on the graph as well. So a question could be like, do you like green apples? And then they would tell me, okay, how to put, or how do I know how many yeses to put? How do I know how many no's to put? They can walk me through that. They can tell me what number to put for each column. So you can just start adding different things, different questions, so that they can give you more feedback on whether they understood the lesson. And then you can also just talk about why they like apples, or maybe they like that they're crunchy or that they're sweet. So you're talking to the children that like apples, and then the children that don't like apples, they can tell you why. Maybe I don't like the skin, I don't like the taste, or it's too crunchy, or whatever the case may be. So to go over the steps of the delivering of the lesson, step 1 would be to do a warm-up or an attention grabber. Step 2 is to introduce the topic. Step 3 is ask related questions and or demonstrate. Step 4 is to present examples and or have them practice. Step 5 would be to have them work on it. So this is more of the independent piece. Step 6 is to ask volunteers to share how they did whatever it is you wanted them to do. And step 7 is to have a closing exit question or activity. So why did I lay these steps out the way that I did? Well, for one, it gets the kids talking and making connections. 2, it gets them moving and participating. 3, they're using their creativity. So in this case, it's an art piece. So when they went back to the table, they were infusing art into the activity. And this, I found, makes it more interesting to them. But it could have been a game, it could have been infusing some science into it. It's up to you. Adding those extra pieces makes it that more enjoyable for them. And I think it makes it come alive for them as well. And for number 4, I think when they explain what they did and how they did it to others, they learn it twice. Which, I mean, hey, who can argue with that? And the bonus is that the administrators that I've had really liked my lessons and how involved the children were. I did a lot of talking about apples in this video because of the imaginary theme that I use. So what I have for you is a lesson plan, a free lesson plan that you can use in your class. You can use some of the ideas that I have. It's something that I used as a sample, and I'm going to link it in the comments so that you can grab it. It's a week's lesson, so if by chance you have that theme coming up, you can take it easy and not plan as much that week. So that is there for you. It is free. You don't need your email or anything like that. Just go ahead and grab it. So I hope this video gave you some ideas that you can use in your classroom during your lessons that will keep your children's eyes wide open and glued on you. And if it did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and it will also help other new preschool teachers find this video as well. Share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when the next video has been posted. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye.